Just got a few words. We back.
All my life I had to be patient. Like Meek Millie, I was dream chasing. Finger to the law when I see haters. Oh, the feeling when you tell your niggas we made it. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. It's showtime like Kareem Lakers. I make a masterpiece, seem basic. No Meek Millie, but I'm dream chasing. Took the shortcut like Anita Baker. I want the bright lights that you see in Vegas. I need a big house with like 3 basements. Drop an M on the whip, think I'm speed racer. Don't know if it's the Transformer or the Green Ranger. My nigga Mac got the beat banging. Young nigga selling crack as a teenager. Had fiends playing baseball out here free basing. Had me showing off the rings like a Freemason. My mama gone, but I keep pacing. Trying to keep it all together like I need braces. Family calling when they need favors. When I was broke, they was acting like complete strangers. All my life I had to be patient. Like Meek Millie, I was dream chasing. Finger to the law when I see haters. Oh, the feeling when you tell your niggas we made it. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Rest in peace, the Nippy was the street savior. Got my credit right now, I need acres. Gotta turn your
I don't even need to play no more, man. Let's get into it. Y'all already know, man. It's CamJNetwork. Y'all already know. We back full in effect, live and direct with y'all. Y'all already know the vibes, man. I miss y'all. Y'all already know life been lifing. Life be lifing for a lot of us around this world. But all we gotta know is God is the greatest. Trust in Him, have faith and belief in Him, and He gonna get us through all of the obstacles, all of the trials and tribulations that we go on through our lives for sure, man. So definitely salute to everybody, man, that's been praying for your boy, been looking out, you know what I'm saying, in every way. But we back, man, and let's get into it. Topic at hand, of course, obviously, man. Been telling y'all boys these belts don't matter. Been telling y'all this for the longest, man. I've been sitting around, you know what I mean, on the YouTube streets, on all over social media, watching y'all had this conversation about Bud Crawford, talking about the WBC and Mauricio Suleiman and everything, and just soaking everything in. Some topics I don't like to be the person to try to report or break no news and stuff first before everybody. Honestly, I like to let some stuff settle in and soak in and take all of everything in and then give my opinion on the subject matter at hand, which is I feel a lot of people need to do more because a lot of people just be rushing just to talk about a lot of topics, you know what I mean? And I've never really been on that type of time, and for real, you know what I'm saying? I don't care about breaking stories. I care about putting out all the facts, having validity behind everything that I say. And I'm very big on that with Camden Network. I'm big on validity behind everything that I say and everything that I speak about. It's, always know when you come on Camden Network, you're going to get the facts. You're going to get a lot of valid things that come out of my mouth when I speak on anything that I talk about on this platform. You know what I'm saying? We're very big on that, and we stand behind that on our brand for as anybody trying to, diminish our name in that way that we don't have no validity on this brand. You know what I mean? We really stand behind that. And I would debate and go with anybody that want to really go against that for sure. The best believe that for sure. But Just wanted to get out, you know what I'm saying? That part out for sure, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of stuff that be on my mind. I'll be seeing stuff and I'll be, thinking about a lot of things. But in general, let's get to the topic at hand. Like I've been saying, these belts don't matter. I've been telling y'all this for the longest. Sanctioning bodies been crooked, been moving weird. Now we got these guys campaigning for it now, all of a sudden because of Bud Crawford mentions it. Don't get it wrong. I love Bud Crawford coming out and exposing, the WBC on what type of timing they on. It's just the timing of him doing it. So let's get into this video. Y'all already know, like the video, starting off for show. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed for sure, man. We definitely back working and we gonna stay consistent for sure, man. And as well, hype the video up. It's a new feature on YouTube that helps us in the algorithm. So hype the video up. Use your hype on this video for sure. You got 3 a week. Use one of the three on me. Unless use all three on your boy. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And of course, man, like I said, comment in the comments. Let me know y'all opinions on the subject matter at hand as well. I love to see y'all comments and y'all opinions on what we be talking about on CamJ Network all the time for sure, man. So definitely appreciate everybody's support always. I love y'all, miss y'all, and we gonna cook up, man. Let's get to this video, man. So let's get to this first little clippage real quick. You feel me? Right here on this topic. And let's get it cracking.
But I gotta dive right into it. I see Mauricio, got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another 100K something for sanction fees, right? Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize. Like, who the f you think I am? Boy, you better slap yourself and paying your ass shit. You talking about pay you $300,000? What makes you so better than any of the other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the green belt, which don't mean shit. Real belt is the ring belt, which is free. What are you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanctioned bodies because you feel like you better than them? How in the world all the sanctioned bodies agreed to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? You can take the belt. It's a trophy anyway. The fuck am I paying you every time I step foot in the fucking ring?
So interesting perspective from Bud Crawford right there. Bud Crawford lets us know that the WBC, they want more money than the other sanctioning bodies from me personally right now. And just my personal take on everything he said. Like I said before, I like that Bud Crawford's coming out speaking about it because I feel like all of the fighters should be speaking about this. You know what I mean? Each and every one of them, especially all of the champions for sure, they all should be speaking about this for as the sanctioning bodies on how they taking this 3% of their pay, whether they're, they have one belt or they're unified or they're undisputed whatsoever. And, I've been speaking about the sanctioning bodies for a long time. You got the sanctioning bodies, they got certain relationships with certain promotional companies. You got, with the sanctioning bodies, got certain relationships with certain managers in the game and everything, where they move guys in the rankings and stuff, especially with, some of the promotional companies, they would pay the sanctioning bodies to move some of their guys up in the rankings for particular reasons and stuff like that. I've been speaking about this for a very long time. And you guys that are boxing fans out there, y'all continue to ignore this. Y'all have to have Bud Crawford come out and speak about some of the sanctioning bodies mishaps for y'all to see some of this stuff clear, which is totally insane to me because it's been a history of guys that's been speaking about this in particular, along with the sanctioning bodies being crooked as far as the rankings and charging their sanctioning fees for champions holding titles. You know, making new belts for guys and stuff so they can charge more sanctioning fees and grab more money and stuff and everything. We've been had this conversation for years. But you guys hear from Bud Crawford talking about it now, and y'all like, oh well, y'all going crazy, y'all running y'all content, talking about it and everything. That's fine. But understand that this has been a conversation that we've been having for a long time. It just took for y'all to realize it through Bud Crawford in recent time, and some of you guys that come from a casual perspective, but that's all good. Y'all watch CamJ Network. We gonna bring you up to date and we gonna get you together over here. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That's all we gonna say for us that, you feel me? But like I said, it's been people that's been speaking about the sanctioning bodies for a long time. And we gonna, they call me Mr. Receipts, you feel me? We got the receipts to show you on that. You feel me? And salute the Book Crawford for speaking out about it. The timing is crazy to me, in my opinion, in a sense. You know, but Crawford hasn't never really had no pushback for any of the sanctioning bodies on any of the sanctioning fees in recent time. And you know what I'm saying? So a little different in that aspect, but I do love the aspect that of him speaking about on it, even though I felt like he should have speaked out on it way earlier, in my opinion. It shouldn't be him speaking out when the man, you know what I'm saying, we know he loaded with some good cash behind him now, you know what I'm saying, and he feel like he don't need the WBC in that opinion, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna show you. It's been people that's been speaking about this, and we gonna show it.
Organizations, I mean, we gotta know where this money going to. I mean, a lot of times they getting, man, you got Canelo and Josh and all these guys, making $50 million, and these belts getting 3% of that. Where's it going to? How's it helping the fighters out? What are they doing with it?
Yes, sir.
Bro, I get sick randomly sometimes when I think about, just use my last two fights, the amount of sanction fees that I had to pay. It kind of takes away the love for it, Now the Ring Magazine belt, I love that belt. No fees. No fees, and you're the guy with that belt. Like I'm recognized as the guy. So I love the Ring Magazine belt. It's got great history. But all these other belts, man, it's robbery. And I stand on that. Please, I would love to talk to any of these guys. And I was trying to put something together with Mauricio where we had sort of like an open dialogue and debate about what these things are about. Explain to me how you justify taking 3%. Like, we come to, and fighters aren't supposed to talk about this stuff. We're just supposed to shut up and fight, But those days are over. And nobody can explain to me who enacted these sanctioning bodies. Who came up with 3%? Why is it not 5? Why is it not 1? Why is it not 2? And is it going to increase at any point in time? And then that 3%, what are you doing with it? Now, Mauricio came with a list of things. Oh, we're helping fighters, this and that. Shouldn't I have some say in where my money goes? Like, you can opt into this or you cannot opt in. But if you opt in, it's helping fighters who get hurt in the ring, fighters who need benefits. Like, I'm down to do that if I can opt in. And I probably would opt in sometime because I want to see fighters get help. But you're just trained to just do it. You're a champion. Yeah, but he's also a champion. He's also a champion. It's not right, man. But we just accept these things in boxing, man. And I'll never certain things in this sport I'll never accept. I'll never just go along to get along. You know, I'm not gonna bang the table every time I got a camera in my face. But when it's appropriate, I'm gonna say something about it. And I hope to be a part of change one day.
Now, there you go. You got Earl Spence speaking about it during fight week with Bud Crawford right there, right? Then you see Andre Ward with the lengthy video right there. Salute to my brother Ohio Runs Boxing, my brother Marcus, man, on getting these clips for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because he definitely one of them guys, one of my brothers that I love dearly. And me and him, we talked personally on this topic in recent time and on his platform on Instagram and Facebook. He's been showing these clips of guys in the past speaking about the sanctioning bodies charging the 3% on sanctioning fees on fighters. And the fighters speaking on where's this money going. Then you got Andre Ward and you got Bud Crawford as well. Both of them recognizing the ring belt, saying that the ring belt is the one that matters, which is, in my opinion, I feel like this bullshit at this point because I feel like the Ring Magazine belt is flawed because of the fact that it's bought by Turkey Al Sheikh. And Ring Magazine, if you look at the rankings and shit, them rankings is flawed as hell, in my opinion. Very flawed. You know what I'm saying? They got Virgil Ortiz at number one at 154, and this man's not even a champion. Like, and he's number one at 154, ahead of Fundora, Xander Zayas, what's his name? I forgot the other like the other champions that they have. You know what I mean? Bakram. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? He the champion, a basketball rule. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can understand he be ranked over like guys, maybe like a Bass or maybe Xander, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Because they looking at the fight, they doing the eye test and stuff like that. But in particular, Virgil Ortiz, he's not a champion. He shouldn't be ranked over guys like Fundora. You know what I mean? At 154. That's why I said the Ring Magazine rankings is flawed as hell now. Like they do what they want to do with the Ring Magazine rankings. So when people ask me questions like how you feel about the Ring Magazine, how you feel about their rankings, I feel like they're flawed as hell because it's bought by Turkey Al Sheikh from Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya should have never gave up Ring Magazine, personally, in my opinion. But that's a whole nother story. But like I said, in general, you got these guys right here, they've been speaking on the sanctioning bodies, on how crooked they are, and saying that a lot of these belts don't is not valued as much because of these sanctioning bodies. They're charging us 3% for the sanctioning fees, and we got more. We got more. Let's drop the next one.
About the sport of boxing. I don't want everybody at home to hear me when I say this. A belt, I'm tired and I'm at home, and this goes for any company. I don't care if it's Top Rank, if it's Golden Boy, if it's Mayweather Promotions, if it's PBC. There's too many champions in the sport of boxing right now. Too many champions. It's not a such thing as a super champion, not at all. And I'm not taking nothing away from no fighter. It's too many belts. And the reason why is too. Let me tell people what's going on in the sport of boxing, why there's so many different titles and so many different belts. People don't know you have to pay for every belt that you win, there's a sanctioning fee. So now if a fighter wins an interim belt, he has to pay a sanctioning fee. If a fighter has just the regular belt, he has to pay a sanctioning fee. Then if a fighter is a super champion, then he has to pay a sanctioning fee. This is not good for the sport of boxing. When the sport of now, when a fighter fights, every fighter is a champion. Now, after you see no belts, is like a fighter winning an amateur trophy. Everybody's a champion. Everybody have a belt.
I'm still considered the undisputed champion. I'm still the champion in the division. Because you know why? The only belt.
You know what I'm saying? That's Floyd Mayweather speaking about it right there. Floyd Mayweather been telling y'all these belts don't matter. They've been charging this money for the longest. We don't know where this money is going to. It's too many belts out here. Franchise, regular, all of this, super, all of this. Been telling y'all this. But y'all listen to it like I said, just because of the man Bud Crawford recently said this. We got more, man. Let's drop the next one.
Look at this stuff. This is history here. You're history.
This is garbage. I can say I bled for garbage.
So this is meaningless.
No, at one time it meant a lot. When you're just a young kid, this is everything to you. But then you realize your priorities change. And you just want your children to be happy and do nice things, and that makes you happy. This is nothing. This is just nothing, man.
WBC is one of the fucking crookedest, most they're all crooked. They're all crooked. They're not.
But if we had to have you rank them, who's your number one?
Who?
The sanctioning bodies. Oh shit! Wait. For those that don't know, he might be biased. He's an IBF champ.
Yeah. You know what? They're so. But I think the IBF maybe got caught doing something with the rankings with Bob Arum back in the day.
They have some, but I put it like this. I said WBC is the most prestigious and all the fighters want it the most. But the IBF, if you win their rankings, you get in your mandatory. They don't want to hear nothing about nothing. Right. You get in your shot.
I think WBO is more towards like a top rank. It's just
and Frank Warren.
Yeah, it's just so.
But the WBA
political.
they say is what benefits Al.
The WBA is terrible because there's way too many fucking belts.
Let me tell you something about sanctioning fees and belts. It's a Ponzi scheme. You give at minimum 3% of your purse, and it has no benefit to you post-fight. At least when you pay in the Social Security and your retirement, you get a return after a certain age. Fighters, don't value the belts. Value your legacy. Value your daughters. Value your son. Value your mother. Value your last name. It's like Mike Krzyzewski and Rick Pitino. That's all these motherfuckers are. All these promoters that are scheming you, taking 30% of your money and sanctioning fees, taking money. They ain't giving you nothing in return. Rick Pitino, Mike Krzyzewski, John Calipari. That's basically who these people are. But I'm just here to tell y'all, WBC, WBA, IBF, IBO, y'all fighting for belts that you don't even wear. You only bring it, when you win that belt, you only wear it or carry it when you go on to do a speaking engagement or fight week. That's it. You know what I mean? You're basically overpaying for a leather belt. You might as well go buy a Gucci belt. That's only $500, you know what I mean? Louis Vuitton belt, I don't know. Balenciaga's kind of hot right now. You know, anyways, man, y'all have a great day. But I'm just here to tell y'all, sanctioning fees, WBA, WBC, Ponzi schemes. Ponzi schemes. There's no return for you after you pay your sanctioning fees. So start fighting for your life.
Like, you heard my man's right there, you feel me? I'm just saying, man, we've been talking about this. Like, the belt is just like a trophy. It's like myself. I played football back in the day, you feel me? Won a lot of trophies, championships and stuff when I was younger and everything. Yes, they matter to, you know what I'm saying? They matter for us, at that point. But as an older, it's like, okay, they just trophies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we accomplished that goal on making this and stuff. Yes, we're proud for that. But at the end of the day, them trophies ain't paying no bills. These fighters put their life on the line every time they come in the ring. The only time they wearing them belts is when, like my man said, they had conventions, they had speaking engagements, and on fight week, they, you know what I'm saying? Fight week, they showing up with the title, you know what I'm saying, ready to defend it and fight for it. That's the only time these guys had, them belts where they're showing those belts. They ain't walking around it now. If you got a guy that's walking around with it every damn day, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you have to wear you the champion. You ain't gotta walk around with your title every week, every damn where. Because I can see if you a first time champion. You know what I'm saying? But if you've been there, you ain't gotta do all of that. So this is crazy. Oh, we got one more clip too. Let's go ahead. Man, powerful right there from Teddy Atlas right there. That's him speaking and saying, Boxing, this sport has been alone, been here for so long, for no longer than football and basketball. And you got FBI and all these other, big, guys that's, investigating in football and basketball and these in baseball and these other sports, but they don't do their investigation in the boxing. It's a lot of stuff in boxing that be going on, and I said boxing is the dirtiest sport in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I've been covering it for a long time, and the more that I cover it, the more I realize how dirty this sport is. This is a real dirty sport. It's the dirtiest of them all. And so many angles, far as the gambling, the sanctioning bodies, etc. And you see Teddy Atlas, he mentioned far as promotional companies buying guys in the rankings. And I said that. I told you that they be doing that. I told you that Matchroom Boxing, Joe Cordina fought um he fought at 130 and fought the guy, I want to say his name Cacao. Cacao, the guy that was supposed to fight Raymond Ford in the last fight that Raymond Ford had. Fought him, got knocked out. And when Shakur Stevenson signed with Matchroom Boxing, his first fight was going to be with Joe Cordina, moving up from 130 to 135, coming off a knockout loss. He coming off a knockout loss, getting a title shot out the gate. Put him in the rankings and everything in the WBC. Just shows you that Matchroom paid for Joe Cordina to be in the rankings so he can fight Shakur Stevenson, so he can look good into a championship fight with Shakur Stevenson. You know what I mean? It's been happening, bro. The sanctioning body's been a problem. Been a problem. Always been exposing and talking about it. But a lot of you guys, like I said before, y'all want to start talking about it now because of Bud Crawford to mention it. It shouldn't take Bud Crawford to mention it for you guys to realize the problem. We've been talking about this issue for a long time, and it's been an issue. But you guys don't want to read the room. Y'all want to read the room until somebody significant speaks about it. And guys that's very significant, like Teddy Atlas, Earl Spence Jr., Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, all of these guys speaking about it. And you already know, man, Mr. Receipts, man, we gonna keep cooking on this. Let's continue.
Got to get your thoughts on the whole WBC sanctioning fees thing. As a fighter, how do you feel about what Crawford said about sanctioning fees?
I mean, it makes sense, but I mean, I think he should have talked about it, before, because now he's talking about it when he don't need the WBC anymore. And he should have talked about it, way back when I said something, he should have spoke up and said something about it too. So I don't know, man. It is what it is.
Do you think that there needs to be a change to that system?
Yeah, definitely change. We definitely see, there need to be some account of where's the money going, because, I mean, we don't know. Is it going to, because all we see is like them having, big dinners at fights and, big dinners fights, and they have big. What's the things they be throwing? Big annual, conventions and things like that. So, I mean, it should be accounting of where the money going. Like Canelo's huge purse, and then you get 3% of that or whatever y'all agree on. We need to at least know account of where is some of the money going to.
Yeah. Salute to the biggest, man. Earl Spence Jr., you feel me? That was Earl Spence Jr. speaking from this past weekend when they asked him about what Bud Crawford said. And he said, it's crazy. He said the same similar thing that I said earlier in the video. Basically saying, yeah, it's crazy. He speaks out about it now when he don't need the WBC because he's got his pockets filled. But he didn't speak out about it when Earl speaked out about it. When Earl speaked out about it, it was during Earl Spence Jr. and Bud Crawford fight week. That's when he first spoke out about it. And, I found it ironic as well. You know what I mean? And, of course, we got more coming with it. You know what I'm saying? We got more coming with it for sure, man. But one thing I thought that was interesting too within this was the fact that, you know, Earl Spence, he spoke about, where is this money going to for us? And that's a question that we continue to ask as well. He asked it when he spoke about it during Spence Jr. Bud Crawford fight week. He does it again right there. And speaking about Canelo in particular, Canelo's a guy that, was undisputed and everything before, he lost to Bud Crawford and everything. We done seen the WBC make several crazy moves for him. You know what I'm saying? Several crazy moves for us, and this is something that Bud Crawford spoke about too in the video that he spoke about the WBC too, was very true. And I love the fact that Bud Crawford spoke on this. The fact that the WBC had David Benavidez as the mandatory for 3 years, and they did not mandate him to fight Canelo not one time. Not one time. You know what I mean? It just shows you the favoritism that the sanctioning bodies have for certain guys, especially, WBC and Mexican owned with Mauricio Sulaiman and his father and everything, saluting them and everything. But they love Canelo so much to where they literally kept Canelo away from David Benavidez at all costs. All costs. To where Canelo said, "Hey, I need 200 million to fight this man." That's how bad Canelo wouldn't fight this man, David Benavidez. That's how bad the WBC for 3 years held this man, David Benavidez, as the mandatory at 168 for Canelo and never mandated that fight. But they'll be quick to mandate certain other fights, just like this past weekend, which is, they had the fight with Ashaki Foster versus Stephen Fulton at 130 for Ashaki Foster's 130 title. And then Stephen Fulton, he misses weight by 2 pounds. PBC, salute to PBC, got much love for him and everything, but I heard that they asked the WBC to make that a title eliminator. Originally, the WBC this past week, they ordered a whole bunch of title eliminators and fights and stuff for the WBC. In particular, they ordered Javier Herrera, that's under Queensberry, to fight Ricardo Nunez, a guy that fought Tank Davis in the past, for the 135 WBC title eliminator coming up soon. But the PBC, like I said, I heard that they asked the WBC to make Fulton and Foster a title eliminator for 135, in which the WBC did. And that put a big, nasty taste in a lot of boxing fans' mouth due to the fact that Fulton missed weight to fight at 130, and they make this fight a title eliminator at 135. Fulton's coming from 126. He misses weight at 130 to fight Foster, and then they make it a whole fucking title eliminator. You know what I mean? And then we seen what happened. Foster, he pitches a shutout on Fulton pretty much and wins that fight. And he's the mandatory now for Shakur Stevenson at 135. Like shit like that with the WBC. We done seen how they've been corrupted in, several ways. You feel me? But at the same sense, like when we go back, it took Bud Crawford to be a guy that he's getting a lot of bread right now. Getting a lot of bread. And he's willing to pay the other sanctioned bodies, but he's not willing to pay the WBC. You know what I mean? Like, if that's the case, don't pay the other sanctioned bodies. If you know what I'm saying, they charging 3% too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do the belts matter to you or the belts don't matter to you? If you try to keep your bread, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We know one thing, Bud Crawford ain't about to fight at 168 on his next fight. We know he gonna fight most likely at 160. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like this, like we gotta read the room and be realistic on what's going on. We done heard Bo Mack say like this man could possibly go down to 160 or fight the rematch with Canelo at 168, probably. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Now we got more content, man. We're gonna run this. We're gonna run this. Let's continue.
Crawford should have talked his talk before when he needed him. He wasn't talking like this. Now that he got the money, the cash, now I don't need WC to get me an opportunity. Now I'm gonna say, yo, fuck y'all, blah blah blah. To me, that's a little cowardice, on his part. But guess what? Only thing I don't agree with is why is it 330,000? That's what I don't like that amount.
Percentage-wise.
Yeah, so you got Ryan Garcia right there, which is, he's been on the Inside the Ring show with Max Kellerman and Mike Capinger. I call him Mike Capinger. I don't call him Mike Capinger. Mike Capinger be doing a lot of capping, so that's why he has that name on CamJ Network. But you got Ryan Garcia right there saying the same thing that Earl said, pretty much saying like it took him to have him a bag to where he feel like he don't need a WBC to where he's making that statement. That's Ryan Garcia speaking and saying the same thing that Earl Spence said. And Earl Spence and Ryan Garcia don't even fuck with each other. You know what I'm saying? They don't. You know what I'm saying? Typically had the same views on a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at both videos that I just played from both guys, they have the same view on this shit on the perspective of Bud Crawford in particular, which is very intriguing to me. Very intriguing because something that I said as well. You feel me? Something I said as well. But I feel like it goes a little deeper with the perspective of Bud Crawford too, in a sense too. And we're gonna get to that. Let's go ahead and play Oscar De La Hoya's Clapback Thursday from last week. Let's talk about it.
All right, it's time for the only segment in boxing that gives you the facts and makes you laugh. It's Clapback Thursday. Except I won't make you laugh because today I'm pretty fucking pissed off. Terrence Crawford, he told the WBC to basically go fuck themselves yesterday and is refusing to pay sanctioning fees to them for his $50 million fight against Canelo. $50 million. Did he forget where he came from? Or how he got there? How do you think you rose to that level? Through the ranking system. You get positioned to make that kind of money. I mean, come on, you're 38 years old. You've been paying sanctioning fees for a long time in the past. There's nothing new here. It's nothing groundbreaking. You had no problem when they were ranking you to fucking fight Canelo. It's like my agent getting me a huge movie and he's asking for his 10% commission of all the work he put in. And then I tell him, you know what? Go fuck yourself. How fair is that? I've heard Crawford say many times that he loves the belts. But suddenly the WBC is the enemy and the ring belt is the only one that matters? I mean, seriously, Suleiman has to be rolling in his grave. Literally. I mean, it sounds like you're reading a script or something. Come on, you've been the ring mouthpiece and the chosen one since they came on board 2 years ago. We all know that. I mean, it looks like that monopoly money really got to your head. This is not the way champions behave. Once you start making money, you don't behave this way. Young fighters shouldn't be looking up to this. Any kid who becomes an amateur dreams of becoming a world champion and having a belt. The kids dream of becoming world champions like you did, Terrence. This is not the way to behave. Look, yes, there is an agenda with TKO. Yes, they want to create one belt, one entity to control the entire sport. But it's sad that they made you the mouthpiece? You of all people? I thought you had integrity. I thought you had respect for boxing and the sport. What do you think the Jose Suleiman Foundation does because of those sanctioning fees that you refuse to pay? You know what he does? He helps these kids get off the streets. He houses ex-fighters. That money goes into retirement funds. That money goes into paying hospital bills for fighters who can't make it. So just because you made it, Crawford, and you made $50 million, you don't want to pay that fee ever again? That is wrong. I'm very disappointed. Yeah, there's an agenda here by that TKO group. And I'm going to do everything in my power to do whatever I can to protect boxing. Because this is a sport that gave me everything.
So there you go. You got Oscar De La Hoya giving his take on, Bud Crawford and the WBC and everything, which is, I can say this. I disagree with Oscar as far as, the WBC, far as, Bud shitting on the WBC in certain circumstance. Like far as he like Oscar looks at it in the aspect for us like the legacy, the historic, aspect of the WBC, the green belt, being a prestige belt. That's how, the perspective that Oscar De La Hoya has for it. And then, you heard Oscar De La Hoya speak on the aspects of the WBC on what they spend their money on. The thing is, everything that Oscar spoke on, what they spend their money on, is not shown. So that's the issue I have right there with what Oscar said in that statement for us in particular, where the money goes with the WBC in particular. You feel me? So that's where I stand with that in particular. But another interesting part for us, what Oscar said was speaking about Bud Crawford being the mouthpiece for TKO and Zuffa boxing, which was very intriguing to me. Very intriguing. I say the reason why, because of the fact of Bud Crawford using like the Ring magazine belt as a talking point, saying it's no sanctioning fees and everything. And we know who owns the Ring magazine. We know Turkey Al Sheikh owns the Ring magazine. And we know that Bud Crawford has a great relationship with Turkey Al Sheikh. So, and retrospective to in my opinion, I look at it in the way that Oscar sees it, that some of this talking point from Bud, it comes from a standpoint to where like, Turkey now wants him to push this Ring magazine situation on us, which is I already told y'all. I feel like the Ring magazine is just as flawed as the sanctioning bodies as well. It ain't gonna be no damn different. These guys are trying to change up the Muhammad Ali Act and everything so they can benefit from it and not show the fighters the records of what's going in and what's coming out and what's going in, what's going out and everything. That they don't want to show the fighters the records of what's going on. And I know we've ran content on it for us, Oscar De La Hoya and Eddie Hearn speaking about it. Far as why don't they want to show the records to the fighters? Because that's what's in the Muhammad Ali Act. But these guys from TKO, Nick Khan and Dana White, they don't want to speak on that aspect of it. They want to attack the sanctioning bodies because that's their way of getting that Muhammad Ali Revival Act passed. That's their way of it. And we're going to get into this. Let's get into this. You know what I'm saying? And just a little quick reminder in this conversation right here. Right here, as you see, Floyd Mayweather, he was stripped. And this is from my brother, Ohio Runs Boxing, my brother Marcus, man. Salute to my brother, man, right here. He came out with this post, and I wanted to, to show this to everyone as well. He said, Floyd Mayweather was stripped of his WBO welterweight title in July 2015 for failing to pay $200,000 sanctioning fee and refusing to vacate his titles and other weight classes, which violated WBO rules. The WBO allowed him extra time to comply, but ultimately stripped the belt when the deadline passed, making Timothy Bradley the new WBO champion right there. And that's Floyd Mayweather right there making a stance like, yo, I'm not paying the sanctioning fee for $200,000 to you guys. Y'all can have this belt. And just to go into a little bit more context into what I was speaking about far as Zuffa and TKO boxing right here. This is a quote from Nick Khan right here. He says, think about the last 3 to 4 years. If Turkey Al Sheikh had not come in, done what he's done to boxing, what boxing is there to watch? A bunch of nonsense. And just to give y'all a little reminder on this quote a little bit, Nick Khan, Dana White, they're all working together for TKO and Zuffa Boxing. Dana White is a guy that's on record saying that they're only going to recognize the TKO Zuffa boxing belts and the Ring Magazine belts. They're not going to recognize the sanctioning bodies. And we've seen how Turkey Al Sheikh has literally made moves to really separate himself with his brand only with Ring Magazine, separate the Ring Magazine belt as much as possible from the sanctioned bodies in recent time, and especially with the Canelo and Bud Crawford fight in recent time in this year. We've seen that. No fight week. Well, it wasn't even fight week. The first press conference they had for Canelo and Bud Crawford, Canelo and them, they trying to bring all the titles on the stage. That man Turkey said, "Nah, we showing the ring belt, we showing the undisputed belt. We ain't bringing them other titles up there." Told Canelo's team that. You feel me? So we done seen that, and like I said, these guys, Zuffa and TKO, ain't gonna be no better on what they trying to do. And I want to play this clip right here from Nick Khan right here.
IBF either pleaded guilty or was found guilty in federal court of corruption.
Right.
So the Muhammad Ali Act was intended with a pure purpose of protecting the fighter. What we're suggesting with the Muhammad Ali Enhancement Act is to leave the Muhammad Ali Act as currently drafted alone. We're not proposing any changes to it. What we're proposing, we call it, is an or. Another option where you can come over and fight for any promoter you want who has its own system that doesn't have to abide by what we think are arbitrary rules of the sanctioning bodies, unfair rules of the sanctioning bodies, which would thereby allow a champion like Terence Crawford to defend his title against the number one contender rather than, oh, you have to fight the super champion, the champion in recess, the interim champion, the WBU champion, whatever all the nonsense is. It's that simple.
Now, let me speak on that right there out the gate, man. See, this is my issue with Nick Khan. He puts the harness on the sanctioning body, saying that they're flawed pretty much in that clip right there, saying that no, those guys manipulate the rankings, etc. Which is like I mentioned already about Ring Magazine. They manipulate the rankings and stuff as well. Ain't no damn difference. Ain't no difference in that shit. You know what I mean? So that's why I said is TKO and Zuffa, they're sitting there talking about, oh, they manipulate the rankings and etc. and everything, and got investigated, etc. But at the same time, y'all can be getting investigated too, due to the fact that y'all guys ain't no better. Y'all not no better. The man, y'all gotta remember, and like this comes into boxing politics with this shit, and y'all gotta realize, it comes to me asking that question. What would y'all do if Turkey, Al Sheikh, and Saudi Arabia with the PIF pull that bread back? What y'all gonna do? Because they have their money very limited right now. If y'all been paying attention to the PIF with Saudi Arabia, me and my sister Jad Queen Boxing, we did a video on her channel, which our show Read the Room. You know what I'm saying, last week talking about it. So y'all can go on her channel and look at that. You know what I mean, in particular, and we broke it down very well. We talked about it. If they brought, if PIF money, if they stop bringing money into boxing would still move on because a lot of the companies within boxing is doing their thing. Like they're doing their own thing in retrospective, you know what I mean? And they're gearing up and they're getting ready for that in retrospective. But with TKO and Zuffa boxing in particular, or these guys, they want they want to say they said they don't want to change the Muhammad Ali Act. They want to give an option for it. Well, part of y'all option is y'all not reporting the records of what money is going in and going out, and y'all trying to negate the fighters from seeing that. So that lets me know y'all flawed as hell. So what Nick Khan is saying is pure bullshit right there out the gate for me because of the fact that we know are y'all true objective. You know what I mean? Y'all really not supporting the fighters with this new Ali Revival Act 100%. Y'all talking about y'all giving the options for these fighters to choose what they want to do, but then y'all rankings is going to be flawed as hell because y'all gonna be putting guys up to know who y'all want to fight for. It's y'all matchmaking. That's why I said at the end of the day, you can't trust none of these guys, the sanctioned bodies, and you can't even trust TKO and Zuffa Boxing either. All of them is flawed. And it comes to the end of the day, if you look at the landscape of how these fighters are moving, all of these fighters are looking for big matchups that make money. That make money, which is I'm all with that. Whether it's a belt on the line or not. Shit, we seen Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, a belt wasn't on the line. The fight was at the catch weight, and it was the biggest fight in the last 5 years. You know what I mean? In boxing. So that's why I said it comes down to the big matchups that's going to make money. That's going to make money. Earl Spence, Bud Crawford, big money fight. Bud Crawford with Canelo, big money fight. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, if Tank Davis was to fight Shakur, that'd be a big money fight. If Tank Davis was to fight Lamont Roach in the rematch, that'd be a big money fight. You know what I mean? David Benavidez and Canelo would be a huge big money fight. David Benavidez fighting a guy like Dimitri Bivol, that'd be a big money fight in my opinion. You know what I mean, it's about matchups and the money involved in these matchups as far as the names. You know what I mean, and that's what a lot of these guys are looking for. You look at some of the lesser names that are champions, they looking for big money fights, but they can't get those opportunities because some of the guys that they want to fight, they're looking for bigger options than them. And that's just how the business moves at the end of the day. See, I feel like a lot of you boxing fans got to understand on how these fights are being made. Y'all don't understand how these fights are being made because of the business. At the end of the day, this is a business. These guys are prize fighters. So they need to do what is best for them to maximize their bag. You know what I mean? And I'm all with that. But at the end of the day, if it's a matchup that makes sense that the fans want and we know that it's gonna make money, run that shit. Don't be picking and choosing and avoiding the fighters and stuff, you know what I'm saying, for bags, which is y'all put that harness on certain fighters. But that's not the case in certain fights. You know what I'm saying? It goes upon a lot of these guys for sure, but it don't be the case in certain fights. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying y'all got to be careful on what content y'all dropping out here and talking about these fighters and stuff. Don't diminish the fight before the fight happens and everything, and et cetera. You know what I'm saying? Be cautious of what y'all saying out here content wise on this shit. But just the point proven in this shit in general for us, this whole video, we been telling y'all, these belts don't matter as much as y'all put it out there. It don't matter. It's about the matchups and if the matchups can make money. And if the belts is involved, all well be it. We know certain big money fights involves belts. You know what I mean? We know that these fighters have to get belts to get involved with bigger money fights. You feel me? To up their brand, to up their status, and up their name. You know what I'm saying? Within the game. We just gotta realize that at the end of the day, that a lot of these guys, the sanctioned bodies, a lot of these companies that's coming into the game and everything, all of them are flawed as hell. It's just we gotta respect them when it comes down to when they do good business as far as putting the right guy in place that deserves those opportunities, that's golden, that can put them in a better position in their career. We have to acknowledge that as well because sometimes sanctioned bodies do well with that. You know what I mean? They do. You know what I mean? It's just it's a dirty ass sport at the end of the day. We got to understand it that it's one of the dirtiest sports in the game, and it is what it is, man. It's not going to change until everybody become advocates for it to change. You know what I'm saying? Instead of speaking on all the negative shit within the game and shit, Let's acknowledge this negative shit and try to upgrade and get this shit better than what it is. That's what we need to do as a boxing culture and understand that factor. You feel me? But most definitely love y'all. Hey, this was dope right here. Dope dialogue. Hope y'all love the video. Y'all love the video. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit the hype button. That definitely help us and the algorithm for sure, man. And subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, man. We definitely back working. We gonna get back running with this content, man. And we live every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Sorry but not sorry, Boxing Talk Wednesdays, man. And I'm gonna have a hell of a show ready for y'all tomorrow. You know what I mean? And we gonna turn it up, man, on Wednesday night, man. So for sure, be on the lookout for the show tomorrow. Like, hype, comment on this video, drop your opinions on what y'all feel on everything that I covered in this video for sure. And till next time, man, we'll see y'all, man. The cook up has been real, and we definitely out of here.
All my life I had to be patient. Like Meek Millie, I was dream chasing. Finger to the law when I see haters. Oh, the feeling when you tell your niggas we made it.